Hello.
We're ready. Ready? Good morning. I'd like to call the meeting to order of the Harlem Community Development Corporation for today, being August 8th, 2014. Please note that all Harlem CDC directors' meetings are public meetings, and members of the public are welcome to ask questions after each presentation. Those questions should be focused on matters raised by the specific presentation. Please keep in mind, 2 minutes are allotted for comments from individuals and up to 4 minutes to individuals representing organization. Following a question and answer period, a motion will be made and a vote will be cast. First item on the agenda is the approval of the minutes of May 30, 2014 Board of Directors meeting. Are there any questions or corrections?
Good morning, Keith. Keith?
There's a correction.
Hello?
There's a correction.
Yes.
Hello?
Yes.
This is Charles Hamilton calling. I'm calling from Los Angeles. Good morning.
Good morning.
Wait, very good morning. 6 o'clock in the morning there, isn't it? 7.
You got it, brother.
No, he's representing.
Okay, good morning, Charles. So,
Thank
that being said, I believe a motion was put on the floor to accept the minutes of the meetings of May 30th, 2014. Do I hear a second?
Second.
All right, that agenda item has been approved. As corrected. Thank you. The Harlem CDC staff will now present initiatives proposed by their respective departments. Mr. Wayne Benjamin will begin with a request for a grant of $75,000 to partially fund professional fees and renovation costs associated with the Harlem School of the Arts restoration project.
Yes, good morning.
Good morning.
Before I begin, we have a representative of Harlem School of the Arts present and also one on the line, so could you introduce yourself, please?
Hi, I'm Meredith.
Stand up, please. Stand up.
Hi,
It's Charles Hamilton, chairman of the board.
And Meredith Lee, institutional giving manager.
Thank you.
That's right. Charles Hamilton.
Wayne, Yvette Campbell.
And we also have
Wayne, Yvette
who's
Campbell.
Executive Director on the line.
Oh, Yvette, you're on the line.
Yes, I am. Hi.
Are you in Los Angeles as well?
No, unfortunately, I wish I were, but I'm on vacation. We also have Alton McDowell, another board member, on the line as well.
Hi, good morning, everyone. It's Alton McDowell. Thank you.
Alton McDowell.
Give us the name of that other board member.
It's Alton, A-L-T-O-N, McDowell, M-C-D-O-W-E-L-L, and I'm the treasurer of the board.
Alton McDowell. All right, welcome, Ms. Campbell and Mr. McDowell. Mr. Benjamin will proceed.
Yes, thank you. So the directors are asked to consider approval of a $75,000 grant to the Harlem School of the Arts to partially fund both architectural and construction costs for the renovation and reopening of their existing 150-seat black box theater. As you know, the Harlem School of the Arts is a nearly 50-year-old not-for-profit founded by internationally acclaimed opera singer Dorothy Maynard to enrich the lives of young people and their families through world-class training and exposure to the arts, including music, dance, theater, and visual arts. Harlem School of the Arts is located in West Harlem in a 37,000 square foot facility that was recently renamed the Herb Alpert Center based upon his generous donation to them. And it includes dance studios, rooms for private lessons, concert rehearsal rooms, visual arts studio, and a black box theater, which currently is not in use. When it is in use, it generates on average $100,000 in revenue for Harlem School of the Arts, and it also supports upwards of 60 jobs, including performers, production crews, educators, and resident artists. Additionally, the theater is an important venue for the students at the school. It provides them the opportunity to develop, confidence in performing before a live audience. The work that is required to reopen the theater includes architectural services to file with the building department and the fire department so they can obtain a new place of public occupancy permit, and also renovations to make the theater safe and legal for use. The first phase of work, which is the emergency work, is expected to be completed this fall so the theater can be operational. There is a second phase of work, which is primarily cosmetic work to also make the property more functional and attractive to potential leasing. And that is expected to begin in spring of 2015. Total project budget is $224,992. Split between phases 1 and 2. The first phase is $104,000. The second phase is $107,500. The project management cost associated is about $13,500, and that's going to be funded by the Harlem School of the Arts, in addition to the funding requested from Harlem CDC. Other funding sources include Harlem School of the Arts board members, private individuals, the Hyde and Watson Foundation, which has funded capital projects in schools before.
That was what foundation?
Hyde and Watson Foundation, not the Greg Watson Foundation,
Watson.
as well as the Falconwood Corporation, which recently confirmed it's matching $75,000.
Falconwood.
It's their foundation.
Foundation, I see. Any other discussion? Questions?
How long has the theater not been open?
How long has the theater not been open?
Approximately this past year.
Okay, and I'm sure, well, anyway, I'm sure we all remember, I guess, about a year or two ago when the whole program was being threatened of being shut down, and the whole community came together to try and do the best that we could to make sure that it stayed open, and we were victorious to a certain extent. And this will provide some great comfort and some great aid to a very worthwhile organization.
I move to approve. I move to approve the grant.
Second, all those in favor?
Aye.
Okay, so moved. Congratulations, Ms. Campbell and Charles and everyone else on the
Wow,
phone.
thank you.
Great.
Thank you very
so
much. Thank you to the board. Thank you very much.
And I want to say one thing, that hopefully this will get some of your members of your board of directors to be quiet, at least for the rest of the summer. And I think you know who I'm talking about, too.
Yep, we'll call her now. We'll call her now.
Those very zealous board members, Janice Savin Williams in particular.
Quick comment. I just wanted to say, as a mother of two children living a walking distance from your facility, that I'm so happy you're part of our neighborhood and part of the possibilities that this community has for the next generation of Harlem children. So thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you.
Great. Thank you so much.
Take care.
Yeah, that's right.
Thank you. Take care.
Bye-bye.
Our next item on the agenda, Curtis Archer will present a request for a grant of up to $125,000 to the Upper Manhattan Empowerment Zone Corporation to aid in the creation of the East Harlem Small Business Emergency Loan Program, an emergency response program for businesses impacted by the March 12, 2014 explosion in East Harlem on 116th Street. Mr. Archer.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Good morning, Board.
Good morning.
You're being asked to consider the approval of a $125,000 grant to fund the Community and Economic Revitalization Support Program to the Upper Manhattan Empowerment Zone to fund a portion of the loan capital for UMES's East Harlem Small Business Emergency Loan Program. The grant will aid in the establishment of an emergency forgivable loan fund administered by the Upper Manhattan Empowerment Zone to assist small businesses affected by the March 12, 2014 gas explosion in East Harlem. And this area is the one bounded by 115th Street to East 118th Street from Lexington to Madison Avenue. And as we all know, the purpose of the SERVS Fund is to provide funding to qualifying programs, projects, events, and other initiatives that advance Harlem CDC's mission. An explosion caused by a gas leak destroyed two mixed-use buildings in East Harlem on March 12, 2014. The two collapsed buildings were 5 stories tall and together contained 15 residential apartment units. The buildings also housed an evangelical church and piano store on their respective ground floors. In addition to the two buildings that were completely destroyed, one-story commercial building on the corner of 116th Street and Park Avenue, which contained a tax preparer service and money transfer business, as well as a deli, was later declared structurally unsound by the Department of Buildings. In addition to the businesses in these three buildings, the negatively affected businesses included 15 contiguous businesses that suffered significant physical damage, such as broken windows or cracked walls as a result of flying debris and concussion waves, and approximately 42 additional businesses that were negatively impacted in many direct and indirect ways as a result of the street closings and loss of power. Events that in some cases lasted a number of weeks as the city worked to clear the area. The Department of Small Business Services, through its Small Business Emergency Response Unit, has been working with a number of government and non-governmental entities, such as the New York City Police Department, Fire Department, New York State Department of Finance, and also the New York State Department of Financial Services, Con Edison, to mitigate the financial impacts of the explosion on the impacted businesses. Now, this project, you guys are requested to approve a matching grant of up to $125,000 to assist with the funding of the Emergency Response Program, the East Harlem Small Business Emergency Loan Program. UMES is creating for businesses impacted by the event. A total of $100,000 will be used for loan capital and will be pooled with funds from ESD, UMES, and funds raised by our Assembly member, Robert Rodriguez.
But just run it back again? Say that, read that sentence again? Read that sentence again?
A total of $100,000 will be used for loan capital and will be pooled with funds from ESD, UMES, and funds raised by Assembly member Robert Rodriguez of East Harlem.
And how much have you raised?
We're at 70 of the 100.
Go ahead, baby. Go ahead. So short, Robert. You better get on your grind, brother.
The total pool of funds for this program is expected to be approximately $400,000. UMES source funding will match the amounts raised by the Assembly member up to a maximum of $100,000.
Do tell.
Up to $25,000 of the remaining source funds will be used to offset administrative expenses incurred in connection with the EHSBEL program. The program will be administered by UMES and will provide forgivable loans to eligible businesses and nonprofit organizations to assist with the repair or replacement costs related to the explosion. Forgivable loans ranging from $10,000 for those least impacted up to $20,000 for those businesses that were located right at the event's epicenter will be offered. Funding will aid in the replacement of physical items, inventory, windows, sign replacement, you name it. As a result of the March 12th explosion, will cover lost revenue and certain operating expenses incurred or during a defined period of time immediately following the event. Also in your package, you'll notice the breakdown in terms of the funds. Okay. And the New York Empowerment Zone, they voted on this particular measure at their June 30th, 2014 meeting, and lending is scheduled to begin early September.
Very exhaustive report. Thank you, Mr. Archer. Any comments? Any discussion? Any questions? I think it's pretty
I'd like to thank
self-explanatory.
our magnanimous chair.
Say that again.
I'd like to thank our magnanimous chair, Keith Wright.
Could you spell that for me?
W-R-I-T-H. Because when I came to him with the idea of how do we support our businesses in East Harlem that have been impacted, and said, we need Harlem CDC to step up, and he was there 100% and completely supportive, and said he would make it happen, and he certainly did. And
Is that what I said? That didn't even sound like it.
It was quick. It was like, I got you. I was like, all right, we'll see. And he did.
Robert, all you have to do is ask if you want to sit up closer to that.
I thought this was symbolic, but eventually, right? And I want to thank Marion from Empire State who's been shepherding this through the process for the last couple of months, and very close to being able to open the doors to the businesses and provide them the support that they need. But it would not have happened if not for being able to move reasonably quickly, and as government is often unable to do, but we have been able to do that here, and we're going to be able to provide relief, a few months after this happened. So we're very close, and I thank you all for the support in terms of structuring this and thinking outside of the box about how we could deliver support. So thank you, Curtis, and the team at ESD and our chairman.
Mr. Chair.
Mr. Eden.
On behalf of Council Rangel, we want to thank Council Rangel because the New York Board, the governing body of the UMS Board, which we did vote on this project last month, because we know the importance and the impact of this disaster and tragedy, but still, businesses have not recovered. So, on behalf of Council Rangel, we want you to know that we are in support.
Any other discussion? I just have one question. Has Park Avenue been opened now for traffic?
Park's reopened.
It's been closed for a while.
Some of the businesses are, starting to come back. And what's interesting is when you talk to them, they don't have a lot of capacity. They're borrowing from friends and family and piecing it together just to get their businesses back open. So this will provide much needed relief.
Robert, maybe what we can do in the near future when the businesses are starting to come at a time appropriate that you deem essential, maybe we can go over as board members to go and see what our contribution is doing. Something like
that'd be great.
At a time that you deem appropriate. And hopefully now, Mr. Rodriguez, you can start coming to the end of the day and start attending more meetings because your input is invaluable. All right? So, good. Glad we were able to do that. Our next item on the agenda.
President's report.
Oh, we didn't vote yet?
No.
We're still discussing.
Quickly.
I make a motion.
We now take a motion.
Before we make a motion, let me just add one of the things to the comments. That all of the funds that were approved by the New York Environment Zone through UMS and the funds that are being approved by ESD are all matching funds to the funds that are being raised privately, so that everyone understands how this is working. Okay.
So we will, after discussion being exhausted, we will take a motion for approval. Seconded?
Seconded.
So seconded. All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Any abstentions? It is now approved. Congratulations, Mr. Rodriguez, and please send our best to the East Harlem businesses that were affected by this tragedy. Next item on agenda is our president's hopefully brief report.
Yes, board members, please look in the book. You'll see the president's report. We can get to our presentation.
Ain't any better than that.
Read it.
Little grasshopper. My, how you learn, little grasshopper.
I don't in written reports that short.
All right, so we will peruse and examine and read the president's report ever so carefully. Yes. Thank you. Next item on the agenda is we will take a motion to go into executive session.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
All right, we are now in executive session. So all of those folks.
Wait a minute.
It's just basically, I didn't have it.
I'm sorry.
There is may I have a motion to leave executive session? May I have a second, please?
Second.
All those in favor? All right, we are now out of executive session. Is there any old business? Oh, for the record, I'm sorry. No, I'm sorry. Thank you, Mr. Eads. Thank you so much. For the record, no action was taken. No action was taken during executive session. So here to ask if there any other business, any new business, any old business?
New business.
Oh, thanks so much, guys.
Being distributed are the sheets here, and I have two fine summer interns. If you guys would stand and introduce yourselves.
Three.
My name is Jocelyn Cosgrove.
I can't hear you.
I want you guys to project.
Come closer.
My name is Jocelyn Cosgrove. I'm a summer youth intern here at CDC.
Where do you go to school?
I'm going to City College.
Beautiful, beautiful. All right.
Ask Wilkin what the average was in school.
Oh,
I'm 103.6.
If it ain't a 103, sit down. My brother. My brother.
Good morning. I just graduated from last month. Looking into being a
All right, very good.
My name is Modestia Mayo. I work in CDC. Student at working for school. I'm one of the National Law Society students. With an average of 96.4.
What year are you? What year? So tell us that last part of that fellow thing.
The last part.
I have an average of
No, your fellow, the fellow.
The program that you're part of.
a National No Rules Society.
New rules.
Thank you.
Good.
And what year are you in?
This year,
Great.
Good for you, very good.
All right, thank you.
So like,
CUNY, that's a different board meeting, Ms. Foster, a different board meeting.
Are you on their board too?
She's on that board.
so like last year, Harlem CDC will be doing its second annual summer intern etiquette forum, which last year we had, of course, Ms. Janine Johnson and on the panel, as well as one of our own stars here, Mr. Joseph Placide. Okay.
How come he doesn't exercise etiquette?
So I encourage any and all of my board, if you'd like to participate, please come, show up, let Ms. Jeffrey know that you can actually participate. And it'll be a nice, short, concise program covering a number of topics, including some of the things that you see right here. Okay? Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Archer.
Thank you, Ms. Archer.
No other new business, right? Praise Jesus. Motion to adjourn.
So moved.
Second. All those in favor?
Aye.
Let's go. All right.